Awesome. Awesome. So I'm gonna give her the go ahead to start now, okay?
All right.
All right.
Wow, I don't know what I did. Jesus, I don't know what I did.
Everything
I
okay?
don't know what I did. Okay, got it, got it.
You seen again?
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
I'm hearing.
And we've got the green light. We've got the green light. We are ready to go. Now, before social media, she had the formula to go viral. Her rise in the dancehall fraternity dates back to the 90s. Carlene Smith, better known as Dancehall Queen Carlene, was Jamaica's first official dancehall queen. She's also an inventor, trendsetter, fashion icon, businesswoman, and philanthropist. And today we journey with none other than Carlene, Dancehall Queen Carlene on the road to success. Welcome and thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to take us on your journey. We truly appreciate it.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. But you left out my most important title,
Tell me, how could I?
Mother.
Mother, oh my goodness. Look, I do apologize. And I really know that you take that so seriously. And mother, you heard from the woman herself, her most important title. And when we get to that bridge, we're going to be delving a little deeper into motherhood and how that's actually, helped you to take a different turn. But let's begin with your roots, the roots of Carlene Smith before Dancehall Queen. What was it like for you growing up in Kingston?
So, Ravinia, that's, well, somewhere in St. Andrew. Always been a unique child.
Mm-hmm.
So it was awesome. It was awesome.
Okay, and talk to us a little bit more about your parents and some of the values and the principles that they instilled in you. Because I know that during your early years, your mom was away. Your dad also died when you were really young as well. So, what was that setup like, and was it challenging for you?
No, because I think you don't know what you miss if you don't know. So I knew
Mm-hmm.
my stepdad, and I had awesome, wonderful sisters. I'm second to last of 12 girls.
Wow.
So yeah, I was always like the baby, although I was bigger than my older sisters. I was always the one with the big body, boobs at 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know what you miss if you never had it. So my stepdad, he's also deceased. He did well, and my sisters.
Mm-hmm. So what was that like though, growing up with like so many girls around and no brothers and that kind of vibe? What was that like for you?
Awesome, because when you're the smaller one, the bigger one tend
Mm-hmm.
to guide you and guide you correctly. Um, so I think I was privileged from a very young age to have beautiful sisters who says, okay, be yourself and we will help you throughout.
Mm-hmm. I can just imagine. Wow. No, you attended the Alpha Preparatory and then Excelsior High School. What was Carlene Smith like in the classroom? Troublemaker?
Yes, definitely. I was very manageable, so I got away with a lot of
Mm-hmm.
things. So from a tender age, my dad would tell me, manners take you to the world. So I learned that early on to be very polite, very manageable, very respectful. And so I got away with a lot of things that somebody else might have been expelled or got in trouble for. One, I'll tell you, my uniform, especially in Excelsior, was never in keeping with the rules of the uniform. So I got
Mm-hmm.
in trouble for my hair, getting in the colors. I had piercings. My skirt was above my knees.
So, did you know, like from a young age, like what you wanted to do? Listening to you talk, no, I can tell that, from early you were into fashion, you took pride in how you did your hair and your appearance and that kind of thing. But in terms of a career path, did you know, which direction you wanted to go in?
Not at a early. I knew I wanted to dance, and in the beginning, I knew how to do Michael Jackson, Prince, Madonna. Yeah, I didn't know dancehall yet, so I used to perform at Excelsior High School fetes, and you know, there's no fete if I wasn't on it because you'd want to come to see what I was wearing, what I'd be doing, and it was always different. So as far as my ambition in terms of work, no, I had no idea.
Now, how did you fell in love with dancehall? Like, how did that happen? Because here it is, the Michael Jackson, the Prince, the Madonna. But when did dancehall creep up in the midst of all of that?
So I have to credit that totally to my sister Pinky. She dated Tiger. If you notice that video I'm in with Tiger, yes, I was a little girl going to Excelsior at the time, and I was just supposed to be on the set. And I think one of the character for the video was something happened, but I was just thrown in based on I was there to watch the video and watch Pinky, being in the video. And it's okay. And because I was so grown looking, nobody cared back then to act your age. And so I was doing, of course, Anthony Malvo, which was the first time I was meeting him on the set. I'm supposed to be his girlfriend in the video because, it's a love video. Come back to me. And so I heard stuff like there's an actual video on my page that has Pinchers calling me out on stage. Yes, I was there with Pinky because Tiger was performing and she always kept me close. But Pinchers was the big star then. And the whole crowd started because I didn't want to go up there. I was shy. And he was like, I'm not singing another line. Yeah, I'm done if she doesn't come up. And the whole crowd started saying, go on up, go on up. And I went on stage. I only remember this because I saw the video recently. And Pinchers, a line where, tell me you want some agony from Pinchers. I didn't even know what agony meant. But I said it. And of course, I had on my jeans was torn, cut up from the buttocks. The jeans was torn. And so it was a big deal for what I was wearing. So I'll always be in the company of my sister Pinky, and I was secured. So I didn't have dancehall as a bad place or any place, but I started to understand it. And then one Sunday they took me to House of Leo. Her friend Lorna from Augustone, Spider from Augustone, Pinky, and I think somebody else. And I went to House of Leo. And that's when I really totally fell in love with dancehall because I recognized so early that it was a free space. You could be and do whatever you want. It was just like I was in love, I was in love. I was about 16 years old and I was just in love. So it was customary enough for me to beg Pinky to tell my father to let her. And he would let. Once I was with her, I was allowed to go.
Okay. And then Pinky, she was a part of the Bubblers posse. So did you hang out with the entire group or, Pinky was just there shielding you from certain things?
I don't remember hanging anywhere because I only went out with them. So she would take me out. At home, that's just not in the process. Dancehall music never played in my home. So it was just when we went either to visit Pinky, at the time she was with Tiger, or we went to a party or a dance hall. And so I would get to see them in their glory. And it never took place at my house. No.
Okay, so before you became dancehall queen, Carlene, like we mentioned, you were featured in more than one music videos. So, Tiger's Comeback, like we're talking about, featuring Anthony Malvo, and also Shaka Demos and Pliers, Murder, She Wrote. Like that was a big one. How would you describe those experiences? And while being a part of the music video, did you know then that this could be something?
Well, when I got to the music video, I was already dancehall queen but I still was just starting dancehall queen in '92, and we had an audition that we had to go to, and so I told them, Pinky and somebody else, I don't remember right now, that Donna, her name, that we were going to go prepared. So we went there dressed. This was over 200 people at this big audition because Shakademus and Plies was just on the rise, but they had a big company. It was Mango Island, Jamaica. I sprung off, owned by Chris Blackwell. So it was a big deal, you know. And Trish Farrell, big up to Trish Farrell, she saw us and said, oh, take them in, and just because of how we looked. So we got the part without dancing, and she came back to say, can they dance? Because everybody was chosen, and so it was a relief when she saw that we could dance. And so that started the duet with myself and Shakademus and Plies. So we did the video. They had a video shoot, a photo shoot for the album. On the back of the album, there's me with all these, you'd have to see the back of the album. So I was always prepared. So I had Jamaica flag, 40,000 ring, and they used me on the back of the album and also inside of the album for the video, from the video shoot. And so it was like, okay, I don't remember how I got the call, but I got the call saying, oh, we would love for you to be in this commercial we're having with Red Label Wine. And we'd love for you to be in the commercial, you and the girls. So I said, of course. Then when I got there, I recognized it was Shakademus and Plies. It was a new song, Tease Me. It wasn't Murder, She Wrote. And the song was like a seductive, kind of slow whining. And I turned up in something that the girl was like, okay, listen, we have to extend your contract. We would love to do a photo shoot for Red Label Wine for the Kalinda and Pinup. And I was like, of course.
So you stay prepared, Carlene.
Yeah, just kept going because at the time, so what made all these things came through is we had a fashion clash. It was April 12, 1992. Uptown versus dancehall.
Before we get to the fashion clash, I want to go for a quick time signal and then we come back and you tell us that story.
The time on IRIE FM is...
It is now 12:45. We are on the road to success and we're journeying with none other than dancehall queen Carlene. So before the time signal, you are about to talk to us about April 12, 1992, the birth of dancehall queen Carlene.
Yes, so we had a fashion clash at the time. Lantoinette Styles, Steins, the choreographer slash dancer, she was the one who's putting the show together. I approached at the time Andrew Williams, that was told to me, will later become Vivian Blake. He invited me to Cactus nightclub where they had a fashion show with all the elite models, fashion models. And the place had 10 people in there. So at this time, I was living overseas. So at this time, I had all this, while I was overseas, I was putting all my clothes together because I would go out in clothes and block the street. I remember once Barry G, I blocked half a tree being in 2 minutes, two top. One was the top, one was the bottom. I was in my dad's car. He was at the NCB bank and I came out. Stirred up half a tree. And Barry G at the time, JBC was across the road apparently, got word of it and said there's a young lady mashing up half a tree. Traffic is being blocked, one lane up, one lane down. And so I've always been putting my fashion together. Anyways, I approached Andrew Williams after seeing the show he had flopped. And he said, okay. So I told him I had 3 other girls and myself 4. I had nobody. I was just taking what's in my head, what I've been planning, and I want to do this. Because I told myself I wanted to be a household name in Jamaica. Yeah, I did. So I went and he said, okay, let him take it to. So I want to big up Minister Bob Zagrain. She wasn't a minister then. She was, I think, road manager and manager for Shaba and Cabra and a lot of other artists. So he said he was going to approach her to see and tell her. I don't know what he told her, but he came back and said, okay. So I said, listen, if the show works out, don't pay me. Don't pay us. But if it works out, this is what I want. So he says, okay, because it's his club. He has nothing to lose. Remember, I haven't said anything to the other 3 girls yet, but I'm booking a show. So I came to them and I said, listen, I need to do this. They said no. Pinky said no. Sharon said no. Lana said no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they've never been on a stage. And so I lied to them. I told them that, oh, this money is going to be in it, which wasn't true, but I couldn't tell them that if the show didn't work out, there's no pay. So I lied. I told them, and I even said it was more than what he agreed on. But I knew I could pay it. So I said, okay, if the worst, I'll pay it. Anyways, I begged them and I said, listen, it's just like, oh, you guys go to the dance and we dress up. And so I finally got them to say yes. And we did the promotion. Because Pinky, as people probably remember, Pinky is way more known than me in dancehall. Yeah, because she's a party goer. Trust me, she's the life of a party. So she would go up Monday to Monday. Yes, Pinky was very known in the dancehall in the late 80s, early 90s. So I said, all right, you know what? Let's do the promotion. And on the 12th of April, 1992, Cactus Nightclub in Portmore. We're inside. And at this time, my 3 other fashion models are drunk because they've never been on a stage. So everybody was like, they can't do this. So they started to drink. I drink. I do not drink. And Roger Rodney was there with us. And we're like, all right, we're going to get this together. So I'm now dressing 3 other girls plus myself. So they had Erica Carr in there. Lantoni saw that for some reason, she saw that I was the more bold one. And she paired me with Erica Carr. Erica Carr at the time was Miss Jamaica World. So she already had a name. Nobody knew us. And we had the fashion clash. Well, dancehall kept winning. Each round, the people kept saying, I won. They kept pointing me out. And Francois, God rest his soul, was the MC. Yes.
Oh, wow.
So when we were going through and we won, and Francois asked me, what are we to be called? And I said, well, she's a Miss Beauty Queen, so I'm a dancehall queen. And hence that title was birthed and born right there.
Wow.
And so they took the show around the island and they pulled Erica Carr out because who dare some unknown girl is dethroning her. So they pulled her out. But they still had top models, Michelle Williams, a lot of top Pulse models, not Pulse, Spartan Health Club top models. And we went around the island and we kept winning. At the last show that was kept at Oceana Hotel, at this point, all the media houses in Jamaica heard of us now and wanted to see the downtown girls. They were dubbing us downtown girls because, anything to do with dancehall, they tend to want to call it downtown. And so they took it there. We have a section where we have like a sheer outfit, and one of the girls in the group forgot her the piece that goes under there. And oh my God,
no.
everybody. The whole day was the next thing. We have a swimsuit section and that section. And I had on a mesh bathing suit with, 2 things on my nipple and, cover where it should be covered. And that's what went off. The paper, the stars, the news, we were just everywhere. And it was mostly me because they kept saying this, they're describing me at the time, voluptuous, curves where they belongs. And so they had us on every media house. So words sent around that, no man, these girls mashing up the place, and some people are saying it's derogatory, some people are saying it's slack and lewd. Everybody had their own different view. Okay. So Barbara Gluden, which was the #1 talk show host at the time, got hold. And so I'm home and they called my phone saying, oh my God, Barbara Gluden saying she wanted to talk to one of the downtown girls because so and so. And I said, what? So the other three, they're shy and they don't want to speak. So I took the phone, I called, and the producer came on and she says, no, I want to speak to one of the downtown girls that was in the fashion show. So I said, firstly, let me correct you. It's dancehall. It's not downtown, it's dancehall. And she was like, okay, yes, the dancehall girls. Could I speak to one of them? I said, yes, you're speaking to one. She says, no, one of the girls that was in the fashion clash. So I said, this is Carlene, one of the girls that was in the fashion clash. She said, really? But you speak well. So I go, thank you. Anyway, she said, hold on, I can't say any explicit. This. And I'm like, I don't speak like that, so you don't have to worry. So she put me on to Miss Barbara Gluden at the time, knowing I corrected her first. I am not a downtown girl. I'm a dancehall girl, and I represent my country and my culture. And I went on. I placed her in her place, as she said. At the time, she said for her 20 odd years on radio, she's never had anybody address her in such calm and professional manner. And at the time, she was like, "Oh, how old are you?" And I was about to turn 19 or 19, I don't remember. And she was like, what? And yes, so I took her on a journey, and that ends now. All the other media houses had me on the radio, had me on the television. So if there was a word enough, I was no enough.
No, like you mentioned, there were some points where, people were talking negatively about it and felt like it was too lewd. It was, you were too skimpily clad and that kind of thing. Did you feel discouraged any at all? And how were you able to deal with those negative comments that were coming at you?
Oh, no, I didn't care. I had something in my head. So let me tell you what I used to counteract all that was being said. I don't know if you remember, you probably weren't even born, but hey, there was the Jamaica Star had a Centis pinup girl. You can Google this. I removed her because she used to be in the middle of the Star, topless, sometimes fully naked with just something over her private parts, but she was topless. And they had no problem with her. So I put myself in the position, we're not topless, but we're being ridiculed and chastised because we're dressed in our culture clothes, representing dancehall. And this woman who you don't know, nobody, she's been there for years. From I'm a kid, you could open the Star, and the center spread of the Star is a naked girl, topless girl. And nobody ever complained that this woman was in there topless, because most times it would be a white girl. And I took them to task with that. And so people were just like, you know what, leave this pitney alone, because she has her facts together. And so it kept going. People would still, at the time, I'm being dubbed a sex symbol. It's the first of the kind. Remember, this never happened in Jamaica or anywhere in the world. The word queen and dancehall would never be a word together. So you had mama, you have lady, you have sister, you have every other word but queen. And in my view, as a young girl, I knew all women were queen. I don't care if you were from dancehall or otherwise. Then I had gone on an interview that created havoc to state, you parade in Miss Jamaica World, a title that the country tore up on a young lady who is in a bathing suit parading. And you give her ambassadorship, but you can't accept a dancehall. We're no less than a bathing suit.
No, you are going at them.
Yes, I took them to task to state how hypocritical this country was, and how much dancehall, which is ours, our culture, her creation, the rest of the world is eating it up, and we're fighting it. And I kept going on and going on and going on till if there was a word enough, I was enough. I was on everything. I was on courts. I was on line. Well, at the time, cable and wireless. I was on everything.
So, since you mentioned this point, I'll just go there. What was the relationship like with corporate sponsors? You mentioned the Red Label wine, the Slam, and you mentioned like courts, and with that conversation happening, was it like an easy transition? What was that like for corporate sponsors who sometimes can be so
I don't
cagey
think
about
corporate
what they
sponsors
do?
even liked me, but because I was the thing happening, I was the only thing happening. You had dancehall, and at the time, the female in dancehall was a little rough, because they had to match up to their male counterparts in dancehall. And I came in to I understood that sex sell, and I was going to come with sex, and it was only that. I wasn't selling sex, the actual action.
Sexy.
I was selling sex, and my word is you can't buy me. So I was everywhere because they had no choice. There was nothing else like me. So it was corporate didn't care if they liked me or didn't like me. I was what's happening. And that's how corporate is. They use and abuse dancehall. They use them for a certain level to advertise their product, but they're not worthy to do X. So I understood that and I was fine with it. As I said, my aim was to be a household name. And that I was working on.
Wow. On that note, we're going to go for a quick cash pot break, but stick and stay. When we come back, more exciting information as we journey with none other than dancehall queen Carlene.
When me use Island Fresh with aloe vera, it make me skin feel so much smoother. So if you want to feel better and smell fresher, use Island Fresh with aloe vera.
Manufactured by Island Products, 934-0666.
The time is...
It is now 12:59. We are standing by, so listen up. Your top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and cash pot lunchtime draws up next.
She's a dancehall queen for life. Gonna win, flow like dynamite. She's a dancehall queen for life. Gonna win, flow like dynamite. And she's moving out of sight. So she's gonna mash up the place like dynamite. She's a dancehall queen for life. Gonna win, flow like dynamite. And she's moving out of sight. So she's gonna mash up the place like dynamite.
You know you so full of your tech, but you so clever. You still have to make a you design for me the dancer. If for me alone, I would have turned you in a lover. Tell me what me name, me want to knock you with me hammer. Then make me get my punch up, ya, mass ya. First time me see you, me da walk in a maca. Now me see you when me want to burn up in a fire. All up in a front like a thinking filler with a girl ya wine. She look like mama killer.
There's lottery games. This could be your lucky day. Get your tickets out and let the games begin.
Good afternoon. It's Thursday, February 16, 2023. I'm Jolene, and welcome to this afternoon's Supreme Ventures live game draw. Now, before we begin, here's a quick look at our mid-morning winning numbers. Now, all Supreme Ventures live game draws are being supervised by the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Commission and observed by the independent auditing firm PwC. Let's put some money in your top draw. This afternoon's jackpot is $600,000. Here are the winning top draw numbers, and good luck. And the first winning top draw number is 1. The second winning top draw number is 13. The third winning top draw number for this afternoon is 11. Following 11, we have 7. And the final top draw number for $600,000 is 14. And now let's pick your play with our dollars game. I do hope you're feeling lucky this afternoon, so get those tickets out. And the first winning dollars number is 20. The second winning dollars number is 17. The third winning dollars number for this afternoon is 16. Following 16, we have 2. And coming down is 25. Following 25 is 19, and we're halfway there. Here comes 31, and coming down is 5. Next up, we have 29. Following 29 is 32. I wonder what's next. Here it comes. We have 7. And now for the final dollars number. Here comes 28. And now for some easy winnings with our Pick 2 game. Let's play. And the first winning pick 2 number is 31. The second winning pick 2 number is 4. Now, once again, the winning pick 2 numbers are 31 and 4. Now, up next, you can play 3 ways. It's our pick 3 game. And the first winning pick 3 number is 7. The second winning pick 3 number is 5. And the third and final winning pick 3 number is 2. Now, once again, the winning pick 3 numbers are 7, 5, and 2. Now, let's turn up the winnings. Get ready for pick 4. And the first winning pick 4 number for this afternoon is 8. The second winning pick 4 number is 1. The third winning pick 4 number, what will it be? We have 8. And the fourth and final winning pick 4 number is 8 again. So once again, the winning pick 4 numbers are 8, 1, 8, and 8. It's easy for win, so let's heat things up with hot pick. And the winning hot pick number is 14. Congratulations to all hot pick winners. Again, the winning number is 14. And now you can win $280 for every $10 winning cash pot bet. Let's get ready to play our cash pot game for Thursday, February 16, 2023. Now, I know you live to play it, but can you win it? Get ready to be a big cash pot winner. Let's see what the winning cash pot number will be. And this afternoon's winning cash pot number is 29. Congratulations to all cash pot winners. Again, the winning number is 29. Now, let's mega your winnings, so good luck. Here it comes. And a mega ball has been selected. And now it's time for the monster winning, so good luck once more. What will it be? Get those tickets out and it's coming up. And a monster ball was selected. Remember to go mega and monster 6 times per day for cash pot for more chances to win big. Again, the winning cash pot number is 29. The lucky mark is Parson. And a mega ball was selected for pick 3, pick 4 cash pot and hot pick. And for monster, a monster ball was selected for cash pot. Now let's take a look at this afternoon's winning numbers. Congratulations to everyone who won. And a huge congrats to our latest Lotto millionaire. The lucky winner won last night's jackpot of $63 million. The lucky ticket was purchased at Flat's Food Mart in Manchester. So check your tickets now. And join us again at 3 p.m. for more games you love to play. I'm Jalene. Have a supreme afternoon.
Hope you were a big winner. Play your favorite Supreme Ventures games every day and tune in for our live draw 6 times a day at 8:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8:25 p.m. on this station. Supreme Ventures, making winners every day.
That was the lunchtime top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and cash pot draws. Congratulations to all of today's winners. Join us again at 3 p.m. for another chance to win in hot pick and cash pot special pot draws. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are on the road to success and we're journeying with none other than dancehall queen Carlene.
It's the new style. Now this one call the butterfly. Spit in the sky, go surely fall in the eye. On a lie, wicked piece of fly, man. This one is the butterfly. Watch me. Giddy up, giddy up. New style come up. Have a new.
Now, as dancehall queen Carlene, did you create or help to popularize any dance moves?
I did. I created the butterfly.
Awesome. And people, how do you feel? Like, I mean, Rihanna the other day during her Super Bowl performance, she did the butterfly. How does that make you feel to know that something that you created years ago is still living, you know, like still going on, can't dead?
Proud. I remember too, I can tell you when the video was done with Admiral Bailey and Barnley and the Dragonaires, they wouldn't show the video until 11:30 at night.
Wow.
And I'm not wearing anything. I had to do it over and put a mesh stocking on. Nothing. So when I look to see where we are today, there are songs on the TV. Yeah. They
know, right?
Show. We had also a commercial from Slam Condoms. They wouldn't show the commercial. We're not even dressed suggestively. I'm dressed. Beanie Man is in a tuxedo and I'm in a evening gown, a red evening gown, and because it's a condom, they wouldn't show the ad until after 12.
Wow. And as you mentioned Beanie Man, you and Beanie Man were like Jamaica's first and favorite celebrity couple in the dancehall. Was it difficult for young dancehall queen Carlene to have such a public relationship?
Not for me, because I was in the public, so it was okay. It was a little pressuring for him to handle, based that I was also dubbed a sex symbol. So I think just having the public onto us, telling him stuff, telling him things, it was hard for him. It was okay for me, but it was hard for him.
Wow. Did you have any problem with like how people perceived you? Like you mentioned, like people would dub you or see you as a sex symbol. Did that bother you at the time, any at all?
Oh no, I was excited that I was a sex symbol and I was a public figure, and I was, men would come at me at all. I was even offered island, they'd come and say all the different things. The problem I had was the women who didn't like me because their men liked me. I did nothing. They just didn't. I got blamed for their men liking me, but I didn't care. I knew what I was about. I knew what I stand for. And for the ones who didn't like me, I had more that liked me. So I didn't care.
When people realized that you were truly an uptown girl representing downtown, did it create any conflicts? And do you think you were able to, say, bridge the gap between the two?
Well, I did bridge the gap between the two. But when dancehall found out I wasn't from downtown, I got hell from them. It started to think, you shouldn't be representing dancehall. They weren't looking at the bigger picture, that I was creating something that was our culture to make it that it's Jamaica and not from where your background is, your ethnicity is from, where your address is. It was that this is Jamaica, this is our culture. This culture was being dubbed around the world, and that's all I knew, and that's all I wanted to make known. So I didn't care. Dancehall wasn't accepting me. Uptown wasn't accepting me because that I was supposed to enter Miss Jamaica world, and that's it. And I wanted to do something that's never been done, because that's always been me. I like to create things. I like to be the first to do something. So I wasn't interested in no Miss Jamaica world. I wasn't interested in Miss whatever else Miss was there. I was interested in Miss Dancehall Queen. And so I was on that path, and I knew what I was doing as young as I was. I wish I'd done a certain way differently, monetary wise. I made a lot of money. Let's not think that anyways, but I could have done business wise a little more, but I had no help in terms of, the public at large, because they didn't see this as something that would have helped our country. Yeah, in a business form. I had just my sister Lorraine, Pinky, and my brother-in-law Leroy, who we had as a team to make sure certain things was done. But as far as going to the business sector of it, people didn't want that. And then I kept going on tours with different people, different artists, and I saw the love they were getting when I came on stage. So I knew there was a place for dancehall, fashion, dancehall, sexiness. I knew it was needed and was accepted. It went with the music anyways.
Yeah, and I'm happy that you mentioned that, because that was leading me into my next question, because the fashion, the outfits, the bold hairstyles, the jewelry, the attitude, just everything that you came with. Like, if you had delved into the business side of it, there are lots of things that you could have trademarked to this very day, because when people go back or even think of the 90s, a lot of persons will replicate styles that are 100% dancehall Queen Carlene when you think about the dancehall space.
A lot of things are trademarked, but because it was more important for me to have my culture around the world, I wasn't focusing on making the money. So there's a lot of things I could take a step to claiming, but I'm so proud that my baby has grown and gone to university. This is dancehall fashion and style and dancing is what I'm talking about. I really didn't care to want to pin anybody because then it would stop it from spreading like wildfire. So I didn't want to take it on that level.
Okay.
But I
So
could.
you brought, yeah, no, absolutely, because you brought influence to the term dancehall queen, and you have shown us over the years that it was more than just dancing. And even hearing you speak now, you have alluded to that. It's an attitude, it's a style, it's a look, it's a mood, it's a vibe. But how would you define dancehall queen, and what's her role and responsibility, especially in the dancehall space today?
All right, it's totally different from what I created because a dancehall queen is supposed to be unique, different in her own style and appearance. And it's that I created this. So it was never done before. So it was new. No, it's a trend. And I think her place is to set the trend that you're not a man and you own your sexuality. You own it and you take it to the streets, you take it to the dance, you take it to wherever you're going with class and dignity. Hold your head up high because it's like any other job. It's like a girl winning Miss Jamaica World. She did that for the night and then she carries through the crown with whatever talent she has. So with this comes you should stand out from the rest. Being in any party, any dance hall, any stage show. And I think it's a little bit different now. Back then, you couldn't get me to dance if you weren't paying me. Full stop.
Like you're not gonna go into a party and dance if you weren't contracted to work.
Hell to the no, because you're gonna pay for my appearance. Remember, it's a package. So why would you want to see me free and then want to pay me? And I try to instill that in a lot of the girls, but they're saying if they don't go and dance, they can't get jobs. I'm not adding up because then everybody videotapes you and it's all over the internet and all over everywhere. So I can't see somebody paying you $5,000 when I can watch you for free. I still stand to that. So I would be paid to just be in a party standing up, nothing else, just looking the part and standing up. I was paid to just turn up.
To dance.
Yeah, because I had categories of which you could have in terms of how you hire me. And it started from me walking in your party.
Wow. Now, you made a cameo in the movie Clash and the television series Royal Palm Estate. What were those experiences like? You know, because it's dancehall queen Carlene in somewhat a different capacity on the screen.
No different. It was just me being me. In Royal Palm, I'm supposed to be a girl who danced on the cruise ship, and Ted Blackburn, God rest his soul, is trying to get me, but never got me. In Royal Palm, he was only dreaming. He never met me in reality in the movie. So it was to continue, but he died of a heart attack, which in his dream I gave him. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't play any part. I was always still you. Yeah. In Clash, it was for me to come and perform at this stage show that they're robbing in the stadium. And while the people are distracted, the robbery is going on. So I've not played a different character. They used to have this other movie called Tracks. I used to be a regular on it, still being myself. So yeah, I have not done anything out of being who I am.
As the dancehall queen, why weren't you in the movie Dancehall Queen?
All right, so they did approach me in the beginning of before the movie started. And when I read part of the script, that wasn't depicting me. And when you put me in a movie that says Dancehall Queen, anything I do in that, you're going to think it's true because I am the Dancehall Queen. And so the character, if you remember, the two characters in there where I could play either. One is the Dancehall Queen who's going to bring forth to the new one, the old Dancehall Queen. She's literally a prostitute in the private. Because if you watch the movie, man is coming in and out of her apartment which is not me. I've been with the two men not at the same time, but meaning for 10 years. So then in the current dancehall queen who's going to win, she has 3 children by 3 different men. She sells on a roadside. She pushes a handcart, So in no part of either of them, I am that person. So I had to turn the part down, because if you're going to do my story, do it well. I love the movie, by the way, in certain level of it. I also despise the movie because it tries to depict dancehall in a derogatory way. It tries to tell you that if you're not from the slumber or the poor class of Jamaica, you cannot represent dancehall, and that's not true.
All right. No, I understand why. Like I'm really getting an insight into why you turn that part down. But you have done music videos, movies, you've hosted events, you are a fashion icon. Yes, we can say that. But did you ever have a desire or any desire to say become a recording artist?
No, and I regret not doing that, because Sly and Robbie, my brother-in-law Leroy, he's a producer in music, so he wanted me to sing. I don't think I can. So I went in the studio with Sly and Robbie, and they were excited. They thought I sounded good. But the perfectionist that I am, I didn't think so. So I kept putting it off till we went on tour. They went on tour. I went on tour, and I just couldn't get back the date to go back in the studio because I didn't really want it to. But in the later, like when I put that down and pick something else, I regret not doing it. It's not like now where everybody can be an artist. Back then there was no auto-tune. So probably if they did have it and I heard, I don't know, but I guess it was never to be. It's not too late, because remember, I'm still young.
No, exactly. It's not too late. I like that. We can look forward. Anything can happen. But, you have undoubtedly cemented your place in Jamaica's musical history. When you started out, did you ever envision becoming this iconic figure in dancehall?
No, I did not. I know I wanted to be a household name. To what level? I wasn't sure. I just knew I was going to do something that's never been done. And with anything new, as I will nuff up myself and put myself in the category, you'd only have one Miss Lou. There's a lot of comedians after her. There's just one Miss Lou. There's just one Bob Marley. There's just one of each thing that creates certain thing and take it to certain level. You won't ever have another dancehall queen like me. You'll have unique girls, and you'll have girls who emerge with their own style and creativity. But there's just going to be me. Full stop.
Now, did becoming a mom change your mission as dancehall queen?
Oh, most definitely. As with me, I understand my path in life. I understand changes. I understand that anything you're doing, my opinion, you should elevate. So if you start here, with the time and years, you should be growing. So when I chose to become a mom, I knew I was done with doing certain things. I had certain
obligations,
things I had to finish. And I knew it was going to be another step into something different. And I don't know if you recall or remember, I went straight into television with my own talk show or voices. And I just kept going. I did radio. I did Hot 102. I just kept doing it different each time to make it into where I think whatever I did before, Marky, I'm proud of everything I've done, but I always thought to myself, if I had a child, I want them to understand, knowing that I have a daughter, I knew I could explain, Miss, I did all of this before I knew I was going to be a mom. So you can't hold me accountable for anything I did when I was a single girl. The minute I chose to become a mother, I knew my role had to change. And so I did. And, luckily she's proud of, every day she wishes to see dancehall queen Carlene from in the 90s. Yeah. Some days she's like, can you just put on this? And I'm like, girl, get a grip of yourself. Yeah. So she's proud of me, I guess, because the transition happens. I did that part when she was not in the picture, and she understood, this is before you. When I chose this is what comes next. And so she continuously is proud of me in everything I do, because everything I do, I put her first. Would she be proud of this motion? Sometimes I act, sometimes I don't, but I do it with that I'm a mother. Full stop. To everything else first, I'm a mother. Everything else is secondary to that. So I try to make sure that when I represent myself, I'm representing Crystal, so she can always, I've not done anything where she come and say, why did you do that? No, I've not done anything.
Wow. Just seeing how you lit up, and even in the introduction, I did not include that, and you were correcting me, yes, your most important job. But what do you enjoy most about being a mother? What's that fulfilling thing? Because I see you lit up just talking about Crystal. And
you don't have enough time for that. That I'm responsible for a human being that I'm going to hope to make into something even more than myself. I don't know. I think it's every person, every parent, every mother especially, wish to make your child more than you were, to make her have everything that you didn't have plus. So it's a journey of watching this human being turn into the beautiful flowers that flower she has become. It's that I'm responsible for this life. She's now an adult, so thank God. But my motherhood to her never stops, And I think the bond we have, she's my best friend, and I'm her best friend.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes, some people think, oh, you shouldn't be friends with your children. I don't know why anybody will have that opinion, but it's not mine. I think you should be your children's friend. If you understand friendship, you'd understand being a mother with a daughter or a son, that it's important to be their friends. It's important to understand your place in their life. It's important to know the difference that I'm your mother and I'm also your friend. And I think I know the boundaries to there. And I think I've done a great job, raising her to the
kudos
beautiful
to
young
you.
lady she has become. So if I had to do this over, that's one of the things I would never change. Yeah.
Wow. No, last year you shaved your head in solidarity with your sister who is currently battling cancer. And recently you also held a charity concert to raise funds to assist with treatment. Why was it important to you to make such a bold move by shaving your hair in solidarity?
All right, firstly, she has stage 4 cancer. Her hair went because of chemotherapy and radiation. She didn't have a choice. I did. And so I wanted to show her that I can't do much than be there for her. If it was up to her alone, my head wouldn't be shaved because she wouldn't allow me. I didn't tell her, didn't ask her. I just felt I wanted to let her know that I'm here with her, going through this with her at the best way I could. I couldn't take the treatment for her. If I could, I would. She knows that. So when I shaved my head, it wasn't just for her. It was for all who was going through cancer around the world and losing their hair, to understand beauty is within. I saw her beautiful as ever, just the same. And so she made fun of my head being shaved. Saying like we look like aliens, So it was her understanding that I'm here with you to the best that I could. Some people wouldn't understand. And it's not like my hair was like right here. So it's not like I had some little picky hair that should be shaved. She knew I was just growing back my hair. So she knew it was important for me to share this moment with her, to show her how much I love her and is there for her in the best way that I could. And it was shaving my head.
Wow, that is absolutely bold. But I think with the philanthropic side of you, because not just only for your sister, but you have also done charity events for others. What drives your passion to help others?
I'm a people person from day one. This is why 31 years later, I'm on the phone with you. I've always loved and respect people. That's my first responsibility as a public figure. I've been doing charity all my life. Some is recorded, some is not. I don't know. It's in the archives. I do have a clipping of that, where my first real charity on a big, away from Maxi Park Children Home, I did Mona Rehab, where I went and purchased 4 wheelchairs with my own money to give back. I've always done charity where it's from my pocket, even though I don't have a lot. But I think I do still have more than some persons. And so if it's even a simple thing like food, in the pandemic, I went to Augustone to help feed some old persons. That came from my pocket. I did a big gig and I got a good pay, and I thought it was only fitting that I shared what I had. Not to say I didn't need that money. I probably needed more, but I think food was. So when I heard the cries, I reached out to Ras As. He's from Augustone, and he had this program going one Augustone. And I said, what's happening here? And he told me, and I saw, people are locked down. You remember when we had those long weekends when people are there that's going from hand to mouth daily. And I know what it means to be hungry. I've never been hungry in that way. I've been hungry because I chose to be hungry. As again, it's not their choice. They had no choice. And I felt giving a little care package I could last through just until we had to open up was important for me to do. And so it continues. I'm always helping. I'm always going to help, as I said to you, because I do value people. And not everybody's always going to be in the position. And you never know when you're going to be in the position. Because here it is now, my sister is going to cancel for 2 years of depleting all the money. She didn't have insurance. So people might look at it and say, oh, but you're so-and-so. Yes, don't care how much money you have. If you're not putting it back and you're just spending it, it will finish. She stopped working. So it's all on our family to help her to make sure she's comfortable in every way possible. She still has bills to pay. And then went through all the chemotherapy and the radiation. It never worked. So I found an alternative route to take her in another way, which is even way more expensive. And so I felt it was my need to see how best I could be there for her, because I didn't want her worrying about anything. I just wanted her to get better. And I watched my sister, who was 165 pounds, went to 93 pounds. I watched her taking 3 pints of blood that was just running through back out. I watched her going from being energetic, fun, happy, full of life, vibrant, to just lying on a bed as if she's waiting to just say, this is it. So I knew the journey. I saw the journey. I was with her on the journey. But there was so much in her, even during that time. Pinky had the spunk to give us. She'd take the most serious matter and find the most hilarious thing to tell it. I'll give you a private joke, well, public now, where she had, when you do chemo, I don't know if you know, but you lose your hair everywhere. And on her private part, she had the hair went. And in the middle of all of this, she's crying and in pain and just in suffering. And she goes, I can't believe my private part looked like a plucked chicken. And we could not stop laughing because few persons would try to make joke. As I told you, when our heads were shaved and we're all looking at, she said we look like some, she said Conehead from that movie. And when we looked at it, it really looked that way because it was like 4 of us with our head shaved. Her friend Keisha had her head shaved. And so we were just laughing uncontrollable while she's going through it. Those are things when you see that in a person, you just know you had to fight. I had to fight for my sisters. My sisters were fighting for my sisters. Her friends were fighting for her. And so when I reached out to Banky, big up to Banky, and said, listen, because, Beenie Man and Bounty Killer are very good friends. And I said to Banky, I would love to do, because at the time, not knowing where we were going next, because I thought we'd have done the treatment and move on to something else, not knowing that was just the beginning. And I also reached out to Blue for being a man, and they didn't hesitate. They said, what? Yes.
Wow.
Repo from Stone Love, Mr. Michael Dawson from Mecca Nightclub, everybody that I went through to say, I want to do this, they up on. Unfortunately, on that particular day, we had rains, 2 days worth of rain. So we didn't get the turnout that we wanted. So I said, okay, but it was awesome anyways. So last year, December, my nephew, Joseph Marley, passed on. And it was another wake-up call for my family to say, he wasn't even ill, and he died from an asthma attack. So it was like, you could be here for 1 second and just gone without even saying goodbye. So while she was still here, and her will to survive is what makes Pinky alive more than anything else. I don't think she even understands that, with the support, of course, but her will to survive. She knows she needs to be here for me and Crystal, because we're the only one living here in Jamaica. My whole family's overseas. And that makes me and my family and friends want to fight for her. So when I saw that we were now going into another dimension of her treatment, and it was stepping up in cost, and I didn't know what else to do, I said, okay, let's do two things. Empress Golden reached out to me, and I'm not sure of the other man's name, from The Real Helping Hand. It's like a GoFundMe, but it's local. And I said, okay, with that, I can now do another concert and see how it's done. Again, I reached to Sizzler Kalanchi. I have a whole new love for Sizzler Kalanchi. Miguel, as he's known to Pinky, I reached out to him and he said, listen, just set the date and I will make sure I have the date. I reached back out to Stone Love, Weepo, big up to Weepo. And Weepo said, listen, for Pinky, you don't know. Sizzler said, you don't know. For Pinky, yes. Reach back out to Michael Dawson from the Whirlwind Group and Mecca Nightclub, and he says, set the date. So luckily, her birthday would have been the 8th of February. So I said, okay, let me stick back with the Tuesday night. So that would be the 7th. And then, at 12 o'clock, it's her birthday. And have her a birthday party as she is alive and well. And everybody just came through. I reached out to you and everybody else in the media houses. I want to big up all the media houses in Jamaica, Irie, the Bridge 99, which I work on every Tuesday night with my show, Sex on the Bridge, the Star, the Observer, the Gleaner, Intense, everybody that I reached out to say, listen, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to chip in and give you as much as we could. The event was successful. As again, still need 50,000 more US dollars to take it to the next level, because it's in phase and it's going to last for 9 months. As I said, she's at stage 4 cancer, but I'll give you the good news. She went from 93 pounds in November, was sent home to what, and did a turn. She came down to Jamaica at 115 pounds to date. Well, last week. She's actually going to be weighing tomorrow. Sorry, I didn't let them weigh her today. She's now 141 pounds.
Oh, wow. Yes, Pinky.
93 pounds to 141 pounds. So I know with the love that she's been getting, all the support that she's been getting, it's working. The only thing I'm wishing for, and I think with little more promotion, is for them to go to my dancehall Queen Carlene on Instagram and click the link in my bio, and they'll see it's not GoFundMe, the Real Helping Hand, to do the donation. We still have time because it's, give the date to when they'll pay for the next session. That's the only thing that's missing. But her will to survive.
And you just told them. You just told them the link so they can go to your Instagram page and click the link in your bio for
on
Helping
Instagram
Hands.
link. Or they can go to the Real Helping Hand page and go to the link where they'll see donation for Dancehall Queen Carlene's sister Pinky and donate. As I said, if everybody gives $1, it makes a difference. If you have $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000, it doesn't matter. Everything makes a difference.
No, absolutely. And where did the time go? Can you believe it? We are out of time, but I cannot have you on without asking you this question in closing. Well, 2 questions really. Are you still a brand ambassador for House of Dancehall?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am still the brand ambassador for House of Dancehall.
Awesomeness. So big up yourself there. And, just for people listening, especially, young girls listening, what advice would you give to dancers? They have a desire to become a dancer, or somebody having their heart set on becoming the next dancehall queen. How would you advise them?
Be assertive, be certain, be respectful of yourself and to yourself. Try to be creative. Always come with the intention that you're the only girl. There's nobody else like you. And so act the part. As I say, let your work speak for yourself, not your vagina. Please do not take a job that requires you sleeping with anybody. This is why 31 years later, I'm still relevant in dancehall, because I made my worth work for me and not my private part. I've never slept with anybody for a job because I knew what I was worth. So I'd always say to them, know what you're worth. And if you go for a job and you can't get it for your talent, don't take it.
What a way to end. Dancehall Queen Carlene, thank you so much for sharing. This was absolutely awesome.
Welcome.
And thank you for
I
being
want to thank.
open
I want to
and
continue
real.
to thank everybody who's been supporting me throughout the years. My cakes, my pudding, and especially with my sister Pinky fundraising and everything. Just the love that I've been getting from the prayers. I've been getting a lot of prayers. It works, and it works. I want to thank Crystal for being my other side of my heart, my life, and big up to Ryan. All my sisters and friends and well wishers. And thank you, IRI FM, for having me today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you too. And the messages are coming in. This one says, I'm in the post office, but my phone is on Irie. Bless up yourself, Carlene. Your sister is doing great. From 93 pounds to 141 pounds. Great improvements. There is nobody better than this girl. Use your powers and not your vagina. Absolutely love that one from Carlene. This person says, good afternoon, Kishima. Great interview with Carlene. Keep up the good work. It's coming from Irie Muma. And this one says, awesome interview, Kishima. Big up to Carlene. Keep up the good work, Carlene. That one is coming from Carrie, locked in. This person says, great interview, Kishima. I just love this woman so much. The original dancehall queen for life. I really love to see her doing the butterfly dance. Irie Picnic Pops in La Clovia. In Lacovia said that, look here, Irish shot with the interview here. Can I tell you? This person says, blessings to the reggae superstar. Bless up yourself, dancehall queen Carlene. This one says, big up to Carlene. You are a superstar. King Tubby said that, And this person says, I love Carlene. Know your worth. Don't sleep with anyone for a job. Novlet locked in.
She's a dancehall queen for life.
Selector Princess says, love RTS Kishima. I got to see Dancehall Queen live when she was on tour with A Freak Sound. Salute to Carlene. Stick and stay. See you on the flip side of this break.
Get a juicy the classic from Wendy's. Wendy's Dave's Classic, the juicier, tastier burger.
The time by Wendy's is...
It is now 1:41.
What's that in your hand?
None. Just the new Scratchers games from Supreme Ventures. Bigger, mega, and monster money pot. I'm playing to win my piece of the $1 billion winning so I can move out there.
So let me understand. If you play all 3 together, you get 40 chances to win your way out of my house?
Where are you going?
I'm going to go buy more bigger, mega, and monster money pot so you and your sister can win enough to get in your own place.
Better winnings come in 3s. So run by the shop and play all 3 together. The new Money Pot Scratchers only from Supreme Ventures.
Yo, babe, no juicy patty with it go feel we first date.
Yeah, me remember you get the cheese patty, I'ma get the beef patty. I'ma never feel happy cause you never double up my order.
Oh, for real? Then I say you feel we go double up a juicy patty now and get a deal. So when you vex, juicy patties are the remedy. So you just tell me.
Juicy patties are go work every time.
Double up and get a deal. Grab 2 juicy patty today. Juicy patty. Serious Jamaican food.
Did you know that many of my schoolmates have an unhealthy diet, especially at school, and now 23% of them are overweight and or obese? And so 1 less sugary drink at my school may mean 1 friend less, or 2 or 3, at risk of cavities or diabetes. And if we're served less foods high in saturated fats, sugar and sodium, it may reduce our risk of obesity, heart disease and high blood pressure. The solution is simple, right? Together, let's get unhealthy foods and beverages out of our schools.
A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
Family growing?
Yeah, time to make a move. Turn down the music, man.
Need your own space?
Time to make a move.
Make your move with a mortgage from Sagicor Bank. Get an affordable interest rate, discount on home insurance, plus a $2 million line of credit that you can use to fix up, furnish, or add your own personal touch. Apply for your mortgage from Sagicor Bank and make your move. Conditions apply.
Last year, the winnings from Supreme Ventures kept climbing and climbing to a towering, massive, out of this world, $53 billion. You hear that? The winnings take off! So keep playing all your favorite games, cause only Supreme Ventures will make your winnings go even higher! Yes, 2023, I gonna be an even bigger winnings spree for all of we!
Jamaica. Get ready for Lovers and Friends, the ultimate Valentine's concert, coming to you on February 18, 2023 at Plantation Cove, Priory St. Anne. Come and enjoy performances by Rotimi, Bobby V, Maya, Chris Martin, Ghost, Elaine, and Jay Britton. Get your tickets online at Eventbrite or see Good Vibrations Entertainment page on Instagram for ticket outlets island-wide. Gates open at 7 p.m. Dress code elegantly casual.
Independent ladies, walk out.
I get wings to
Cheers.
fly. Oh, I'm alive.
Tickets for Base of this is Soundfest, 25th of the month called February. Sabina Park, BD Greg, Fontana, Jacana, Genius Pharmacy, Total Done Rabbit, Kingston Jerk, Extra, Airface, Donnertown, Miles Enterprise, Passa, Circle, Admission, Pre-Soul General, 2,000, 3,000 at the gate, Pre-Soul VIP, 4,000. Hey, Base of this.
Oh, Shayna look nice from what
Yeah, girl, it might look better, yeah?
Yo, when you're winning with it's easy, it shows. It's easy to step up your thing with one drop, you know. Now you can win 29 times the money and a fireball for more winnings.
Conditions apply. Game responsibly. Must be 18 years and older to play.
You don't look to fit in. Living a life without compromise as you make the most of it. It's easy for us follow the crowd, yes. But you follow your heart. Which makes enjoying your Dragon Stout more rewarding as you win each day by being true to yourself. Be the one to stand strong. Be Dragon. Dragon Stout. Must be 18 years or older. Drink and socialize responsibly.
Plans are on the way to have Jamaican youngsters exposed to the rules of the road while they are in high school and allow them to get their learner's driver's licenses. In fact, in January, 36 students from York Castle High School in St. Anne successfully sat the written test to obtain learner's licenses after completing a driver training curriculum created by the Island Traffic Authority and the Heart NSTA Trust. Education and Information Officer at the Road Safety Unit, Dante Matthews, recently sat down with Vaughn Davis, host of the program Studio 58A, to share details about the training initiative. We bring you an excerpt of their interview.
All right, so York Castle High, they had implemented a driving fundamentals curriculum into the school. I think they started with lower school first and then expanded it and brought it up to upper school, and they adopted the Heart NSTA Trust program, which includes, things like mathematics, information technology, and then a module that deals with road safety, vehicular safety, and the whole works. Now, they took it a step further by reaching out to us to ask for assistance in terms of providing literature, road safety literature, vehicular safety literature, anything that can aid the instruction of the course. And I remember it was emailed at first, and my director printed it, put it on my desk and said, "This is a good initiative." That's Mr. Here. Put it on my desk and said, "This is a very good initiative. We need to follow up." And we looked at it, and we drove to St. Anne, Brownstone. We met with the principal. But before I even talk about what we